April was a pretty packed month for game releases, so I'm sure you're still playing some great titles. We got Capcom's next outing with Pragmata, a seriously impressive HD 2D pixel art platformer in Replaced, and the PlayStation 5's next big exclusive title with Saros. May is a little lighter, but there are still some awesome releases from your indie darlings to your big AAA blockbusters. I'm not going to include every single game release in May, but the ones I think that you should be keeping an eye on. If you want to support the channel, then please leave a like, subscribe and share with your friends. If you don't like it, then leave a thumbs down and let me know how I can be better for you. With the housekeeping out the way, let's look ahead to the best game releases in May. Beethoven and Dinosaur are teaming up with Annapurna to release this hugely nostalgic narrative game with a fantastic soundtrack. Mixtape follows the story of three friends on their final night of high school as they go on one last adventure. Expect lots of teenage drama, skateboarding, small crimes and romance. The trailers even seem to imply some kind of supernatural powers. This is very Life is Strange coded, which definitely catches my attention. As the name would suggest, this mixtape of memories will be set to the soundtrack of the generation, the developers claim. Artists on the roster include Devo, Roxy Music, Lush, The Smashing Pumpkins, Iggy Pop, Sushi and the Banshees and Joy Division to name a few. I'm not sure of the exact time period, but it has an extremely nostalgic 80s feel. I have no doubt that this is going to be the narrative-driven visual audio experience of the summer for me when Mixtape releases on May 7th for PC, PS5, Xbox Series and Switch 2. One of my Game of the Year contenders for 2024 is coming to more platforms in May. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. This is a brand new adventure for Indy that takes him globetrotting through places like the Holy Vatican, the vast pyramids in Giza, the tropical rivers of Thailand and a handful of other places. It's a truly spectacular action-adventure game that has the perfect balance of punching fascists and solving ancient puzzles. It blends both first-person and third-person action. The first person is the default and will be the perspective during combat and puzzle solving. The third person comes into play during traversal, so you can see Indy in full glory when he is doing his cinematic adventuring. This game plays like an immersive sim where you'll be sneaking about using whatever you find to boink someone on the head, or worst case just resort to using his fists and his iconic whip. The exploration and wonder of these historical finds are what made this game feel so special to me, and I'm sure it will make you feel that way too. It really is as good as the movies, and I think this is one of the best games we have got in the past couple of years. If the Switch 2 is your preferred console and you have not played this yet, then give it a try on May 12th when Indiana Jones and the Great Circle drops on the Nintendo Switch 2. From the developers behind Until Dawn and The Quarry, Supermassive Games are back with another entry in the Dark Picture series. Directive 8020 is set in space as a human crew is searching for hope on a faraway planet due to the Earth dying. The team crash land on this planet only to be stalked by an alien organism that can perfectly mimic its prey. The prey in this case are the crew members themselves. This results in a game that mixes cinematic storytelling with tense third-person survival horror gameplay. Directive 8020 is a narrative-driven game with branching story paths and multiple endings. It has a new feature which is called turning points, which indicate when the story has branched off due to a decision you made. You then have the option to rewind and try something else, or stick with your choice to see the outcome. As the alien morphs itself into other members of the crew, I imagine your choices are gonna become quite challenging as it becomes difficult to distinguish who is real and who is fake. This game is screaming multiple playthroughs, and I don't think that's a bad thing. There is couch co-op for up to 5 players on release, with the promise of online co-op coming post-launch, so you can experience this story with your friends. Will you be able to save your crew? Will you be able to save Earth? I don't know the answers to these questions, but what I will say is I don't trust anyone. Directive 8020 releases on May 12th for PS5, Xbox Series and PC. One of Xbox's biggest releases this year comes from their most critically acclaimed developer. Playground Games returns with another entry into the Forza Horizon series. Forza Horizon 6 is set in the much requested location of Japan, and boy does it look pretty. There are sweeping vistas and sprawling roads that look unique to their location. It is their largest world to date, with several biomes, changing seasons, and at the heart of everything is Tokyo City, which is Playground Games' biggest urban area yet. The campaign is designed to focus on your journey where you started as a tourist in Japan before joining the Horizon festival. You must race to rise up the ranks, and once you make it up to the gold wristband, you get access to Legend Island, which is an exclusive region of the world with its own special events and activities. There are more than 550 cars at launch, which is their most ever. They fully overthrew the previous models and enhanced balancing across all their performance classes. Forza Horizon 6 is also having more customizable options. At the player house, you can build your own garage, which you can invite your friends to. Further to this is the estate, a massive mountain valley home that you can build up into your own base, constructing buildings and open spaces to hang out with your friends. It seems like they are leaning into the open world community aspect with multiplayer experience like time trials integrated seamlessly into the open world and car meets. The soundscape is enhanced with remastered audio and encompass both the engine and the environmental noises, which sound amazing. There are several new accessibility options incorporated into the title too, with the proximity radar, auto drive and high contrast mode to name a few. This game is looking to be a worthy successor to Forza Horizon 5 when it releases on the 19th of May for Xbox and PC, and then later in the year for PS5. Nintendo has a big release in May for one of their iconic characters, though it might not be the one you're thinking of. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is an adventure platformer that has this amazing hand-drawn art style. I really find it appealing, it just feels so cozy. On the island of Yoshi's, Mr. E, an encyclopedia, falls from the sky. Within its pages are mysterious creatures that Yoshi can learn more about by jumping into the pages. Each creature should be experimented with to learn how they tick. We had a recent trailer which focused on one such creature that blew bubbles. You learn different things from it by eating it, carrying it on your back, feeding different foods to it, and so on. The different things it does can help with platforming and exploring the world. Everything you learn gets noted inside the pages of Mr. E and earns you stars. These stars are then used to unlock further chapters which seemingly act as this game's levels. The Mysterious Book looks to be a relaxed but enjoyable time, and I'm interested to try it out when it releases on May 21st for the Nintendo Switch 2. Releasing on the very same day is Zero Parades for Dead Spies. This is the next title from the developers behind Disco Elysium. There were quite a few people that left the studio after that game, but some of them are still around and worked on this game. You can definitely see that in its presentation, as it is instantly recognizable as the spiritual successor. We are no longer playing as an unstable cop, but instead a spy named Herschel. Zero Parades is a narrative-driven espionage thriller, but is still a CRPG at its core and plays as such. This is a game that will be shaped by your choices, but outcomes are based on dice rolls and probabilities. You can choose which stats to put points into and increase your chances of success with skill check dice rolls, but ultimately everything comes at a cost. CRPGs are great for creating playthroughs that have many different pathways and so become unique to each player. There are several ways to progress through a significant story beat, and it's up to you to figure out how. The developers call this failing forward, and they say it is a core pillar of their philosophy. What they mean by this is that the story will continue no matter what happens, but you'll be better off if it goes well. So good luck, I guess. Something that wasn't in Disco Elysium and is new to this title are dramatic encounters. This is a feature that is supposed to make you feel like the spy operative you play as. During these encounters, time will stand still and you must make a series of choices back to back. This still leans on the failing forward philosophy, so I can foresee some of these dramatic encounters ending terribly for us, but that really is the appeal of this game. Zero Parades for Dead Spies releases on May 21st for PC only, but the team has said there will be a PS5 release later in the year. 30 years since Bubsy 3D released, the mascot character returns with Bubsy 4D. This platformer is developed by Fabraz, who have already had a hit this year with Demon Tides. Bubsy 4D aims to breathe new and hopefully more positive life into this series that has been stagnant for so long. Immediately, the game looks far better than its predecessors, which of course is expected due to the modernized age of graphics, but also the color palette of the environments look far more appealing. There have been previews of this game which have shouted praises for the movement feel and mechanics. Bubsy seems to be very mobile, especially with his airborne traversal that makes the platforming fun and engaging. Jumping movements and dashes can be combined in a sequence to effectively make this bobcat fly through the world. world. One of the things I liked from the trailers was seeing him blow up into a ball and roll about the place, gaining momentum and picking up speed to cross gaps. There will be several platform challenges incorporated into the levels, as well as upgrades to unlock. This wouldn't be a Bubsy game without some sarcasm and wit, and we get a glimpse at the angle they are going with the humor in the trailer so far. They call out its weak reception for previous titles, and even GTA 6 getting delayed, which got a laugh out of me. Bubsy 4D is releasing on May 22nd for PS4 and 5, Switch 1 and 2, Xbox Series and PC. Coming to the LEGO franchise of video games is LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. This game is really going full swing into the Batman lineage. We experience the story from a young Bruce Wayne training with the League of Shadows to the legendary vigilante that Gotham needs. The journey will introduce all the iconic allies such as Jim Gordon, Catwoman, Robin, Nightwing and Batgirl, villains such as Joker, Penguin and Bane, who is voiced by Matt Berry, an array of Batmobiles and Batcycles, and of course many of the Batsuits across the legacy of all Batman media. Gotham City will be an open world with immersive crimes, challenges and collectibles to discover. You can roam freely, whether it be in a vehicle or gliding and grappling over rooftops. The combat has been revamped and seemingly takes the style of the Batman Arkham series, where you can combine combos and parries to create free-flowing encounters. I personally love this combat system and the Arkham games generally, so this is welcome by me. Not everything has to be solved by combat though, so there will be a range of detective skills to utilize too. In line with the other LEGO games, couch co-op is a feature if you want to play that way, and new to this game is a hard difficulty setting called Dark Knight mode, which is for all you sickos out there. LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight releases on May 22nd for Xbox Series, PS5, PC, and later in the year for Switch 2. Echo Generation 2 is a sci-fi turn-based deck-building RPG. This game just has so much aura. It's set in a retro-futuristic 1980s world animated in a 3D voxel art style. The deck-building combat is tight, and when I played the demo, the variety was surprisingly large. The developers Coco Cucumber have stated that there will be 6 characters available to play as in a team of up to 3, and each character has their own unique decks to build. If you're liking Slay the Spire 2 at the moment, then you're gonna love this. The story beats revolve around supernatural children, time travel and or alternate realities, and a virus threat which is extremely reminiscent of Stranger Things. I was really impressed with the animations and how fun the card-based combat was in my time with the demo, so why don't you check out my quick look for more info. If you're into deck builders or turn-based RPGs, I think this little indie game will be well worth your time when Echo Generation 2 launches on May 27th for Xbox Series and PC. Arguably the biggest game release in May, behind only maybe Forza Horizon 6, is IO Interactive's take on James Bond. This developer steers from the quiet and stealthy hitman to the over-the-top cinematic, all guns blazing, cheeky attitude of 007. First Light is a brand new look at the approach to a James Bond game, as it is based around the time that he first becomes a special agent. He is not a weathered and still-faced super spy, but rather a young, ambitious man trying to find his feet in this world. The tagline "Earn the Number" represents this theme. That's not to say we won't get any of the things we have come to expect from this franchise though, as the trailers have already revealed all that we would hope to see. There will be fast, fancy cars, a catalogue of gadgets from Q Branch, sexy characters, Bond villains, explosions, and of course a lot of British sarcasm. Turns out we excel in it. The gameplay is a mix of third-person cinematic action that invokes the feeling of an Uncharted. You have the option to go in loud or sneak your way through any encounter, and the journey will take us to some breathtaking locales. I've really liked what I've seen so far of this game, and I can't wait to see what this developer has managed to create when 007 First Light releases on May 27th for PS5, Xbox Series and PC. That's everything I think is notable in May, but once again is not absolutely everything releasing in the month. If nothing here resonates with you, then you can always look further or even check out my best games of April video, which has a bunch of great titles that released this month. I do loads of other gaming content, so check the channel for all the latest reviews, quick looks and spoiler casts. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, subscribe and share with your friends. If you didn't like it, then leave a thumbs down and I will try to be better next time. Check out my most recent Life is Strange content because I had a lot of fun making that, and for everything else, casual gamer, keep it here. Peace and love.